Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Isn't this a 7-game series? Excuse me? Sorry. Continue. Thank you. Tonight, we shoot with them. Tonight, we stay with them and we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest basketball team in the world. Isn't this just Kurt Russell's speech from The Miracle repurposed to sound like a basketball speech? That is a preposterous accusation. I stayed up all night working on this speech and you accuse me of that. Of plagiarizing the great movie Miracle based on true events. He's even got a little Minnesota accent going on. What's that? I'm from Texas, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great team the Soviets have. I meant the Clippers. I meant the Clippers. Wow. The Dallas Mavericks beat the Los Angeles Clippers in Game 2 of the Western Conference first round, 96-93 to even the series in what was just a disgusting rock fight. I mean, I forgot how intense these games can be in the postseason, these low-scoring games where a 4-0, 6-0 run feels like it could be a death sentence for a team. This was the first time all season the Mavericks won a game when they scored under 100 points, and they were tremendous defensively. It was one of their best defensive games of the year just as a team. It was Luka Doncic's potentially the best defensive showing of his entire career. Like, he was that good defensively in this game. I'm going to throw up some of the matchup data that's been out there. Now, I do want to say the matchup data is definitely a bit of a wonky stat, but it definitely passes the eye test. I mean, the Clippers, we know what they're trying to do offensively. They're trying to go at Luka over and over and over and over, and Luka was up for the challenge and then some. I mean, if you didn't know any better, and this was your first NBA game ever, you would think Luka is like a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate and just one of the best lockdown perimeter defenders in the league, because he was just clamping up almost everything the Clippers were throwing at him. And he still got his offensively, 32.6 rebounds, 9 assists, including some big threes and big assists down the stretch of this game. You know, his shooting numbers aren't the best right now. The Clippers are just throwing so much shit at him. You know, I don't want to make it seem as if Luka's having a bad series offensively, because he's not. His numbers are still really good, and especially down the stretch of Game 1 and Game 2, he's looked really good. But man, it's just, you could tell it's throwing Luka off. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen him look this, I don't want to say confused. The Clippers are just throwing a lot at him, and Luka, it feels like, still hasn't really figured out the defense just yet. And that makes you feel good as a Mavericks fan, because you know he's going to. He's in that tier with LeBron James and Jokic as these guys who will dissect your defense if you give them enough time. And we're heading into Game 3 now, and I feel like it's about to happen. We saw glimpses of it in the fourth quarter. We had 4 assists and no turnovers. And the Mavericks offense struggled again, putting up only 65 points through the first 3 quarters, but they did put up 31 in the fourth, and their offensive process was just way better. Like, in the first half of Game 1, they struggled to get even like a halfway decent look at the rim. This game, their shooting numbers were still a little bit wonky. They missed some free throws. They missed some bunnies. I mean, how many layups did they miss in this game? But they got some great looks, and you feel good about that moving forward. But man, PJ Washington had some huge moments in this game. We'll talk about those. His defense was incredible. Derrick Jones Jr.'s defense was incredible. Derek Lively's defense was incredible. Kyrie Irving's defense was incredible. And Maxi Kleber was phenomenal. Now, we talked before the series about the small ball, and if the Clippers go small and Zubats is off the floor, how do the Mavericks respond to that? And I kind of thought the Mavericks would dominate those minutes because they have 2 bigs in Lively and Gafford who can kind of play with a smaller group and take advantage of that size gap between the small lineup and the big lineup. But that hasn't even been the case. It's been Maxi Kleber at the 5, which has been phenomenal for the Mavericks so far. The Mavs are +7 in 18 minutes in Game 2 when Maxi Kleber was the center, +15 in 4 minutes in Game 1, so +22 over 32 total minutes. I mean, this small ball group is dominating the Clippers. And I'm interested to see how that progresses moving forward now that Kawhi's back and is going to be the small ball 5 for Los Angeles, assuming that he remains healthy and gets healthier throughout the course of the series. Let's look at some highlights. I can't emphasize enough how great the Mavericks were defensively in this game, how good their help was, how crisp their rotations were. This play right here, 3 minutes into the game, perfectly exemplifies that. Look at all the bodies flying around. Look at the activity from PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. and Daniel Gafford helping on these drives and then recovering and getting out and then getting blocks. Love it. And then you have the 7-foot, 20-year-old rookie in his second career playoff game defending James Harden out on the 3-point line, contesting without fouling. Now, James Harden was on his typical grifting bullshit, but I would say, hey, it's the playoffs. You're not getting that call, but he did. He got plenty of nonsensical calls, but great job by Derek Lively there. And then look at Luka here, moving his feet, knowing that he's got help to his right. So he forces Terrence Mann that way, gets in front, forces a miss. Now he's off to the races. Look at him go. Boom. Great job. Great D. I'm off. More Luka D. Look at him sliding over to help here and getting a block on Plum Dog Millionaire. Maybe a tad late, but that's not late at all. That's just Luka getting blocks and doing Defensive Player of the Year level stuff. Give me that shit. And now it's time to work offensively. This is a shot that Luka shot more this year than at any other point in his career. Off of these screens, the step back when the defender's playing super close and he's got him on his hip a little bit. He loves this shot. When it's dropping, it's unguardable. Defense leading to offense here. Look at Derek Lively with the hands, running the floor. And the nice little wraparound pass there by Luka. Foul, free throws. Mavericks struggled at the free throw line in this game. Derek Lively struggled at the free throw line in this game. Derek Lively, I think over the last 3 or 4 months, has only had 1 month where he shot over 50% from the free throw line. That's something that's going to have to get ironed out. Speaking of ironing out, how about Luka for 3? Now, the Clippers have done a really good job not biting on any of these pump fakes. And I'm wondering if that means moving forward that Luka just, ditch that original pump fake where you try to get a defender up in the air to draw a foul and just go up with it if they're not going to bite on it. He gets it back. Now, this had nothing to do with ironing anything out. I just wanted to say, speaking of ironing stuff out. But nice to see these 3 balls drop before the double comes. And here we have Luka play D. Okay, look at this little murderous intent here in his eyes. You can just sense it. Look at him. Look at him on defense. Look at him getting a stance. He's hiking up the shorts. He's ready to go defensively. He's ready to go. He's forcing Harden to the right. Step back 3 right there. That's a tough shot. More defense. Great work right here by Dante Exum, even before this clip started, of making Kawhi work to even get the ball. Maxey ready to help. And then look at the rotations. Look at everyone firing around. Derrick Jones Jr. protecting the rim and blocking it. Great work. And again, I thought the Mavericks' process offensively was much better than it was in game 1, even though, again, they didn't put up a lot of points. But it's more just being decisive and quick in whatever it is that you're doing. Don't second guess yourself. And here, just Lively rolling to the rim, get it to him, go up. Norman Powell coming over, that's a foul. Again, the free throws were an issue, but that's good stuff. And then again, Kyrie to Lively. This time help comes, ball moving around. I mean, this is nice right here. Kyrie, 2 passes away. So the double comes, and a lot of the times, and we'll see this later in the game, this is Kyrie right here, and that can lead to an open 3 or whatever the case may be. But since it's Tim Hardaway Jr., Harden comes over to help, Coffee rotates over, and now it's a scramble out on Kyrie who can attack, and that leaves Lively open for a lob. So again, the offensive process was fine. Welcome to PJ Kawhi Leonard, and welcome to the series. PJ Washington's been incredible in these first 2 games defensively for the Mavericks, really ever since the trade, but just bodying it up. Boom, shot clock violation. Yeah, and he's hyped too. That's the thing I love, man. I love me some dogs. They get a defensive stand, they're hype. It's not scoring, and PJ Washington had some huge baskets in this game we'll get to later. But I'm taking pride in playing defense. I'm clapping. And this is going to have to be more from Luka right here. It's going to have to be decisive. When Zubats is in this deep drop, be ready to go. Be ready to go with that floater. Be ready to go with layups or pull-ups. And then right here, yes, that's exactly how I was feeling, Luka. Activity on defense, making life as hard as possible, using size. Gafford switches out onto Kawhi. That's a 7-footer, man. That's a tough shot. Kawhi hits that, which he's more than capable of. Whatever. That's all right. You do what you can. But, hey, we live with that contest. Good switch by PJ, getting under that to avoid the roll. Good job. Do you realize how hard this is right here? A lefty offhand floater from the free throw line. I mean, for Kyrie, that might not be difficult, but if you or I were to try this, we'd be laughed out of any gym in the Metroplex. Insane. Again, Derek Lively defending beyond the 3-point line on James Harden. And then Luka ready to help. PJ Washington, good closeout, good contest. It's a tough shot. I mean, that's just the activity that we're talking about, right? Lively, above the 3-point line. We're not giving up any step-back threes. Harden drives, goes to his right. We're okay with that. That's kind of where we're forcing. Luka's ready to help. PJ slides over and is able to get out and contest that just enough to make that shot a little bit more difficult for Terrence Mann. Just flying around the court, man. It's great energy and great activity. And then Luka, look at the job recovering here to contest this step back. I mean, for Harden, that's not a terrible shot, but making that shot more difficult than it could have been. Again, this is that step back mid-range that Luka loves. Off of a pick and roll, he's snake dribbling. He's got Paul George on his back. He knows that step back's going to generate so much space because Paul George is going towards the rim, trying to get back in front of him. Just a beautiful shot. More defense. The active hands by Kyrie Irving, who was great defensively in this game. And then look at the energy, the effort by everybody on the floor. Zubac gets it. Lively's on the deck. He's fighting for it. Boom. Mavericks basketball. Great job. Just watching Kyrie Irving play basketball is just, it's such a joy. It really is. Look at this. What? We're pulling that out? 3J. Hey, look, I'm just going to be real with you. If Magic Johnson pulled this off and we had clips of it from the 80s and the grainy ass footage with cigarette smoke in the building, this would be called the greatest pass in the history of the sport. Now, I'm just, again, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving gets so many steals just being smart, sneaky, being a sneaky little guy. Dunk! Again, I mentioned earlier how the Mavericks offensive process looks so much better in this game. This is a stretch here in the third quarter where they missed 3 straight shots. But all of them were great looks. It wasn't like the second quarter where they scored 8 points in game 1 where they just were not getting good looks at all. The Clippers were suffocating them. And it's been a great defensive series for the Clippers so far. But you live with all of these shots right here. Kyrie, 1 pass away. Russ comes to double. Rotation doesn't come there quick enough. I mean, that's a wide open 3 for Kyrie Irving. You live with that even though it's a miss. And then right here, you empty out a side of the floor. Let Daniel Gafford and Luka operate in the pick and roll. And Gafford, who led the league in field goal percentage this year and had the 3rd highest field goal percentage in the history of the sport. He's making that way more often than he misses it. It's just been a rough series so far for Big Dan. And he did have he was dealing with a lower back thing in this. I don't know if he's 100% fully, but got to finish that. And again, he typically would finish that, but that's a good look. And then we're going to the patented high pick and roll. 2 on Luka, Gafford in the middle of the floor, wide open corner 3. That's not even remotely close to the rim. God bless you, Josh Green. But, it's, again, 3 straight looks that you feel pretty good about. A Kyrie Irving wide open 3, a Daniel Gafford shot at the rim with, James Harden contesting it, but James Harden's smaller, and you expect Daniel Gafford to finish that. And Josh Green, who's typically a really good corner 3-point shooter, getting a wide open 3 in the corner. All good looks. It just comes down to making them. And then you have this guy turn into asshole Luka the final, 17 minutes of this one. Woo! Played 46 minutes. He's a dog. How about this play right here? How about this defensive stand? Shout out to Maxi Kleber. Look at that. Look at that defensive play by Maxi Kleber. Ready to help on Russ. Jumps, recovers, and blocks that Zubac shot attempt. Now Luka's getting active with it. Amir Coffey's on the floor. Luka, jump ball. And Luka won the tip. Why? Because he's an athlete. And you know what? Adam Silver, if Luka's not in the dunk contest next year, you're up. Another great look for the Mavericks right here. You cannot be mad at all at the process. Just so happened that Kyrie Irving missed it. Look at all the attention that Luka's getting on this handoff from Kleber. You got Russ chasing over the screen. You got Zubac helping. You have Paul George shading over the help. This is a great cut by Derrick Jones Jr. because Amir Coffey's got to go tag him. And Kyrie's wide open in the corner. Just misses the shot. But again, you live with that. You're okay with that. And if the Mavericks are going small and you think you're going to get 2 on the ball on the screen, I like PJ being the middle guy. I just like the floater that he has. I like his ability to pass out. Just think it's the best option for you. And PJ Washington had some huge plays in this game offensively. Derek Lively, man. Look at this. Look at this. 2nd career playoff game on an island, way above the 3-point line against James Harden. Look at the hands. Look at the help by Josh Green. And then the recovery to get out and then contest that Norman Powell jumper. That is tremendous stuff from both Derek Lively and Josh Green. I mean, what the Mavericks are doing defensively so far in the series really is pretty great stuff. I mean, it's, dare I say it, championship level defense. It really is. And again, I mentioned some of the great plays that PJ Washington had late in this game. Here we are, 4th quarter, 9:24 left. The Mavericks find themselves down by 6. The Clippers on a bit of a run. As you can see in the bottom right corner, the Mavericks no field goals in the quarter yet. And the role guys were pretty much giving you nothing up until this point. You had some plays here and there. They were playing really well defensively, but offensively you needed something. And this was out of a timeout when the Mavericks desperately needed points. PJ Washington, good patience, gets it to go off the glass. And then a few possessions later, 3-point game. PJ Washington in the corner. Woo! Ball movement, man. Ball movement. Paul George guarding 2. PJ makes him pay. That was set up by Luka Doncic. Defense on Kawhi Leonard. Pokes that away. It unfortunately goes right to Zubac. But again, Mavs active defensively. Hands all over the place. Ball's loose. Kyrie Irving has it. Now it's demon time. Now it's psychopath Luka time. Tie game. 7 minutes left. Step back 3 over Kawhi. And you just know. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Pussy! Yeah! Yeah! We showed that play earlier. Kyrie 2 passes away and had the defense scrambled. Here he is 1 pass away. And this is a fuck up on Russell Westbrook's part. All right, Luka posting up James Harden. I like this offensive adjustment for the Mavericks. They started going to it way more in the second half of game one, which is let's just give Luka post touches and see what happens from there. You can see Russ point to Kyrie. He's about to go help. Nobody's going to come rotate over. Russ doubles. Luka reads it immediately finds Kyrie, who drains a huge three to give the Mavericks a 6-point lead. And look at James Harden. What the fuck are we doing? And this is the defensive sequence you're seeing all over Twitter. Look at Luka defensively. Defensive stance. He's low. He's ready to go. He's bought in. Kawhi Leonard's thinking to himself, I have Luka on me. I must attack. It's my robot voice. And look at Luka clamping that shit up, man. And then a little wildness. Norman Powell blows a bunny. Russ misses a tip. Norman Powell misses a tip. Hey, the basketball gods reward defense. How did PJ Washington end up on the floor here, huh? Oh, truck stick by Maxi Kleber. All right, but how about that defense, huh, by Luka? Again, ready to go, ready to defend. He's heard all the shit talking. He knows Maxi's there to help. And it's a good help by Maxi, too. And then Luka just stonewalling it. And then PJ again. This is really what the Mavericks need from their role guys this series. Confidence. Shoot it. If you're open, shoot it. Luka kicking to the corner. PJ Washington, his corner three-point shooting has been abysmal all season long. He hit 2 huge corner threes in this game. Why is Zubats holding a sign? Okay, never mind. That's just a towel. I thought Zubats picked a sign from the crowd or was holding it on the bench. And then how about this from Luka? Paul George now. Patented Paul George stiff arm. Step back three. No, sir. And then look at Luka. Look how I love when Luka gets hyped from playing defense. He loves it. Maxi Kleber, man. What a gamer. What a game in this one. 3-point game with 2:15 left. This felt like the game in a lot of ways. Paul George goes for the steal. Kawhi has to come down to help. Maxi, wide open three. Boom. Again, 4 assists, no turnovers in the fourth quarter for Luka. Dissecting the Clippers defense. If he starts to figure it out, I don't know, man. And then game time. 6-point game, a minute 30 left. Luka, step back three over James Harden. And you just know he's talking shit. You know it's shit talking time. Now let's try to dissect what Luka said here. Okay. So people are thinking that he's saying several different things I've seen. Motherfucker, let's go is one. Motherfucking asshole is one. What I actually think he's saying here, and what I really hope he's saying, is now let's watch it. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm a fucking asshole. That would be sick if that's what he said. Yeah. But of course, this wouldn't be a Mavericks game nor a playoff game without there being last-second drama that makes your heart fall completely. Mavs up 3. All they have to do is inbound the ball and get free throws. And my God. Oh, my God. Now, this looks like an insane pass. This looks like it was pretty close to being stolen from the broadcast angle. But from the opposite baseline angle, it wasn't really that close. I mean, this is like such a risky play. Luka sees Terrence Mann, and he looks him off. By looking at PJ Washington, that frees up Kyrie Irving enough. Frees up enough space for him to thread the needle here. But from this angle, you can tell that it wasn't, it wasn't that risky of a pass, as it looked on the broadcast angle at least. And shout out to Maxi Kleber, who was a gamer all game long, fighting for the offensive rebound here off a Kyrie Irving missed free throw to ice it. Huge win. I feel like there's a bunch of different ways you can look at this series so far. If you're a Clippers fan, you could say, all right, well, we won the game without Kawhi. Kawhi's back, and he's going to get better as the series progresses because he wasn't necessarily great in game 2. And our role guys are going to hit shots at some point. Like Norman Powell hasn't really done much at all in this series. Or you could look at it from the Mavericks perspective and say, we haven't gotten the psychopathic Luka game yet where he hits every single shot that he shoots, and one of those is coming in the postseason. And we've yet to see like a huge offensive explosion, which might not happen considering how much of a rock fight these games are. But with how good the Mavs are offensively, I struggle to think in a 7-game series they don't have one game where the dam just breaks open. So I don't know. The Mavericks do their job as the lower seed. They win one on the road. They go back to Dallas with home court advantage. Let's see how this all shapes up.